If God doesn't want humans to kill other humans, why didn't he simply make it impossible, physically, for it to happen? I.e., if you point a gun at someone, it doesn't work. Or if you use a knife, the knife bounces off their skin. So the first question you can ask for that is, Adam and Eve were perfect. So do we know if it was possible for them to kill one another? We don't know. We don't know that if Adam picked up a rock and decided, hey, you've become a nagging wife, I'm done with you, so it's in the desert, I'm going to bash your skull in. We don't know if that would have worked with Eve. We don't know because they were perfect. Perhaps, it just would have crumbled and she's too physically strong. We don't know. What we do know, however, is after the fruit is eaten, we know that the first death we come across is Cain and Abel, which is hugely important because it's the first example we have of us now as imperfect beings and non-immortal beings killing one another, right? So you have the brothers, one gets overly jealous, so he kills the other one, and that's what gives birth to the line of Canaanites later on, which is why the word Cain is very much relevant to the Canaanites throughout the Bible, right? Because there's a lot of predestined and metaphoric history of that. So asking, well, why did he make it possible? The problem is he has to involve free will. And originally, where we are now wasn't in his design. It wasn't there. We're the ones that screwed it up. So the fact we can kill one another is our fault. That's just the ultimatum of what it is, because God gave us the world. He made it perfect. He gave us Eden, everything else, and we went to him. So, okay, fair enough. So instead of me infinitely punishing you and erasing you from existence, I'm going to make things more difficult for you. You're going to have to earn your way back. But we also know, there's a further long arching story of this, that there is also a narrative of it's a way of him rebuilding the earth without Satan in it, which is a whole big other discussion of theology. Now, if he did make it that we couldn't kill one another, we've got two other problems with that. First thing we have to look at is how would we interact with the world and how would it work? Because if a knife and things wouldn't work and I can't be physically hurt, or if someone points a gun and it doesn't work, it's how do you involve and manipulate the world in that level without it strongly insinuating that God is therefore interfering? Because then you're going to argue, okay, well, this person's really evil and doing all these evil things. They're raping, pillaging, robbing people and all this. We should be able to have the right to kill him as capitalistic punishment, but now we can't do it because anything we use on him doesn't work, okay, or her doesn't work. So how do we get around that? Because God's made it we can't kill him. So therefore God is now interfering with our justice system, our moral code he gave, right? Yet we know God did send people to war. So he does ask for things to be defended because he knows when there's so much evil, he will destroy it, Sodom and Gomorrah. So within itself, making ourselves immortal to one another would create a huge moral implication on how we would govern good and evil, because the only thing we could therefore do is lock everybody evil away, right? And it's how do we associate the resources of this and make things work? So there's a whole myriad of complications that comes with it. Whole myriad of complications. And the thing is when we kill someone, what you have to understand is the only thing we're destroying is the physical body here. That's all we're destroying is the physical body, the body that's been loaned to you, that's been allowed to you from God, that you're allowed to borrow in your life of 80 years to 100, hopefully. And then you spiritually return somewhere else devoid of that physical body to go for wherever it is we go, because we don't really know whatever it is, whether it's purgatory, whether it's asleep, whatever it is. No one can sit there and say they know what it is because no one's died, gone there, gone for it and come back. We've got near-death experiences explaining a light, which is very coherent and throughout. But no one can certainly say for certain, even me, no matter how much you read that Bible, no one can say on this earth for certain, this is exactly what happens and it's exactly what comes back, because there's too much temporation between death, right? But we know that the physical body is what goes and something spiritual within a spiritual vessel is what will have to continue on. And that is what will happen to. But if that's the case, what is really being lost at that point that in a godly morality form, you would argue difficulty with? Because the only thing you're losing is your body. To go to what? Eternal paradise? We don't know. So there's a whole myriad of reasons why it wouldn't work.